Hey everyone, my name's Elijah Lee, and I really love video games. And one of my favorite parts about a video game is the hype before the game comes out. The expectation, not knowing what's going on, looking at trailers and things like that. And usually the hype starts with a commercial. So with that in mind, I decided to do a list of my favorite slash commercials that I remember the most. And these are only going to be commercials that I've seen when they originally aired. So if you don't see your favorite commercial, make sure you comment it below and maybe we can talk about it. The first one is going to be a 2-for-1, and it's by a developer that wants you to feel naughty for playing their games. Number 10, Dead or Alive 3 and Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Well, I only play for the fighting. I appreciate the expansive multi-tier environments and the 16 characters with the pixel shading bump mapping. And the rich plot development. Seriously, why else would I play it? She kicks high. Rated T for teen.
At least they tried to talk about the technical aspects of the game before saying that, she kicks high. So they, tried to focus on the fact that this is a legitimate fighting game. But all that was thrown out the window when it came to Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball.
Rated M for mature.
Hey!
Play with a friend or play with yourself. Dead or Alive Extreme Beach Volleyball. Tecmo. 100% games.
For hot beaches, there's no power greater than X.
When they were promoting this game, they knew who they were promoting it for. They weren't promoting it to people who were fans of party games. They were specifically promoting it to horny teens, which is probably why the announcer sounds like she got lost on her way to one of those 1-900 commercials. The DOA Extreme series has always tried to promote itself through some sort of controversy. I remember when the first one came out, there was all the speculation that it was going to be the first video game to be rated AO for adults only, and that there might be nudity included with possible sex and things like that. But the game that we got didn't match the rumors at all. It was actually rather tame. And in fact, it was pretty much the DOA version of Mario Party. The only thing extreme about this game was how extremely tame it was compared to the rumors. Say what you want about those commercials, but at least they knew their demographic and the game that they were trying to market. What happens when you don't know the game or your demographic? You get number 9.
Hey, little buddy, want a ride?
Pikachu!
Yeah, whatever! I'll be right back!
Where can you catch all 150 Pokemon? On your Game Boy, that's where. Pokemon for Game Boy is here. With both packs, you can catch them all. Games and systems sold separately.
So the weird thing that I find about that commercial is that there's very little gameplay. And they don't really talk about what Pokemon is. So it kind of suggests that you have to have a pre-existing knowledge of the franchise to get this commercial. So picture this, it's 1998, you're a kid who loves Pokemon, you see a bus driver put them all in a bus and start to crush them. Does that make you want to go out and buy the game? Like, I just don't see the correlation. Now I get the point they were trying to make. They're trying to say you get all these characters in an space. However, crushing them in a bus was probably not the best way to try to show that. Then there's a bus driver who is kind of creepy. He kind of looks like Billy Kincaid from the Spawn franchise, which makes him look like every stranger danger stereotype manifested in physical form. I remember this commercial so much because of how much it disturbed me as a kid. Since we're on the topic of commercials that kind of missed their mark with their marketing, let's move on to number 8.
What if it was the only role left?
Love Dragon Ball Z? Get Ultimate Battle 22, the import for the PlayStation game console. Rated T.
Were they calling their game crap? Because I feel like they were calling their game crap. And it really doesn't help that Dragon Ball Z Ultimate Battle 22 isn't exactly the best Dragon Ball Z game or just the best fighting game. It's actually a Japanese import that they brought to the US in 2003 to try to capitalize on some of the popularity of the Dragon Ball Z franchise. Now, when it originally came out in 1995, the game was considered kind of unique and slightly groundbreaking because they used actual cell animation for the sprites and for the cutscenes. But when it was imported to Europe and the US, they got rid of the cutscenes, eliminating half of what made the game unique and special. But the commercial remains memorable because I really want that toilet paper. Like, a lot. Like, I would buy that. I wish I could buy that instead of the game. Not all the commercials from the early 2000s completely missed their mark. Some of them were dead on. And that's why we have number 7.
Come on, guys, this is our chance.
Are you gonna flank left?
All right, man, let's take him out.
Copy that.
I got your back. Here we go, here we go. Reach, go!
I got 2 at 9 o'clock, 2 at 12.
Taking major fire.
Where's it coming from?
It's an ambush, man.
Back up!
No, I can't see anything.
I'm hit! I'm out too.
I'm down.
Who are these guys?
Like shooting fish in a bucket.
SOCOM, U.S. Navy SEALs, now playing online. Rated M for mature.
This commercial was just amazing. It was hilarious. I remember the first time I saw it and just laughed hysterically. And it also made an entire generation of people who saw this commercial that every time they're getting their butt kicked online, they have to stop and ask themselves, am I up against a real Navy SEAL? Spoiler alert, you're probably just a bad player and getting your butt kicked by a 13-year-old, but whatever helps you sleep at night. Now, that commercial was cool, but it might not be as cool as a hedgehog being a DJ in a nightclub. And that's what we have at number 6.
Oh yeah, I'm feeling the love. You feel the glove, love. What's your name? Gary Payton, but they call me the glove. How you feeling tonight? Yo, I'm feeling the love. Feel the love, glove. Sonic. Yo, Sonic. Man, stay off the light speed.
My bad.
Sonic Adventure on Sega Dreamcast. It's thinking.
The Dreamcast commercials were just awesome. Like the way they sent you in a first-person view inside the console to look at the different games and stuff like that. It was amazing. And this was probably the first Dreamcast commercial that I saw. And it was the first time that I saw Sonic in like full 3D. And I just thought it was amazing. That's when I was like sold on the game and on the console. It is weird though that Sonic seems to have some sort of war flashback in the middle of the club. But besides that, the commercial is fun, it's hilarious, and it just really makes me miss the Dreamcast. And speaking of consoles, we have number 5.
New for 2078. PlayStation 9's new electronic spores tap straight into your adrenal gland. PS9 has improved retinal scanning. A mind control system. Holographic movie surround vision. And telepathic personal music. The ultimate just got better. PlayStation 9. Teleport yours today.
This commercial was really cool. You can tell that Sony put a lot of money into it because those special effects were like Hollywood level. Like, I remember seeing that commercial and thinking like, what the heck is this? And then it like ends with like the PS2 as the beginning. It was like really cool marketing. It made you not only want the PlayStation 2, but kind of, activated your imagination to think about what could be. I personally just can't wait to 2075 to see if the PlayStation 9 is anything like this, or if I'm going to be disappointed like I was in 2015 when I realized I didn't get a real hoverboard. And next up, what happens when you get your favorite video game characters together in one place? Well, they try to kill each other. I'm pretty sure everyone remembers this commercial. It's your favorite mascot skipping down a meadow while a lovely song plays until Mario decides to be a dick and kick Yoshi. Why, Mario? Yoshi wasn't bothering you. He was minding his own business. And since then, legend says they've been fighting ever since. Coming up next, we have a 2-for-1 again. We have The Legend of Zelda, Majora's Mask, and The Legend of Zelda: Link to the Past coming in at number 3.
Help me!
Things in the light are not the same in the dark.
The Legend of Zelda: A Link to the Past for Game Boy Advance, and now 4 can play.
Do I smell fear?
Rated E for everyone.
Both these commercials are pretty dark. You have a guy who's running for his life on a train, and the Majora's Mask commercial is just literally a bunch of people sitting around contemplating their impending doom. These commercials are dark, but it's also fitting because Link to the Past and Majora's Mask are among the darkest Zelda games in the franchise as far as storyline goes. So it makes sense that the games would be filled with nightmare fuel and anxiety-inducing panic, I guess. Next up, we have the Crash Bandicoot commercials. All of them. All the ones that include, like, the guy dressed up as Crash Bandicoot. Coming in at number 2. Like, these commercials are always so weird, random, and fun. It's one of the few video game commercials that you can enjoy and laugh at out of context and not have to be a gamer to enjoy, because the guy they have playing Crash is funny, the setups are funny, and it's actually legitimately hilarious. It is kind of funny though how in the beginning of the commercials, it just seems like he's a super fan that's dressing up as Crash trying to get people to play his favorite game. But as time goes on, they make it seem like he thinks he is Crash Bandicoot. He should probably get some help. But these commercials were so popular, they actually made new ones when they made the Insane trilogy, which I really appreciated because I just love these commercials. Before we get to number 1, I have an honorable mention. finally, what you've all been waiting for, probably, I don't know what you guys been doing all this time, probably skip to the end. Number 1, Gears of War, the Mad World trailer. This commercial was everywhere when it was released. It features a cover of Mad World by Fear for Tears, performed by Gary Jules. This commercial is not only memorable, but it's impactful. Throughout the years, companies have struggled with how to advertise video games. Some were weird, while others made no sense, but this commercial will be used as a template for years to come. The cinematics that were created just for the trailer, combined with a popular song, is something that's become a bit of a staple. We've seen it in Dante's Inferno, with No Sunshine by Bill Withers. We've seen it in the Arkham City and Short Change Hero, Mortal Kombat X with Who's Next with Wiz Khalifa, and Battlefield 4 and Run This Town with Rihanna. Rarely do these commercials ever show any actual gameplay footage. It's typically just a commercial to get you hyped for the game. Admittedly, this did kind of get Gears of War in trouble because this commercial got a lot of people interested in the game and prompted them to buy it. But then those people were upset when they realized the game was nothing like the commercial. Not to say that Gears of War was a bad game, it just wasn't anything like the advertisement that got people to buy it. It's actually interesting to see how video game commercials have changed. Originally, they were marketed a lot like they would market a toy. Like, you don't need to explain who Optimus Prime or My Little Pony is when you have a My Little Pony toy commercial. The kids already know. You just got to get them to buy it. And in a lot of ways, you see that with early video game commercials from like the 90s and the early 2000s. Oddly enough, I feel like they did a better job with it in like the 80s, and then they kind of lost it in the 90s and then got it back towards the mid 2000s. So it's interesting to see how things change and how the industry has changed, where people see video games as less of a kid's toy and much more of a pastime that anyone can enjoy. Thank you guys for watching the video, and if you made it this far, please take the time to go check out AbleGamers at ablegamers.org. They're not paying me to say this, and I'm not affiliated with them whatsoever. It's just something that I really believe in. AbleGamers actually make video game peripherals for people with disabilities. People who would normally not be able to play video games or lost the ability to play video games because of some sort of disability. The peripherals are actually custom made, and some of them can be expensive. So there's actually a couple ways you can actually help them out. You can do a fundraiser by doing a stream or something like that, or you can just actually donate money to them. So the link to their website will be below, and please check them out and help them out. And that's it for me today. I'll see you guys later.